If you grew up in the era of dusty backroom VHS tapes, the name Faces of Death carries a specific kind of playground infamy. It was the ultimate dare movie, a snuff-adjacent curiosity that everyone claimed was real and everyone's older brother definitely had a bootleg of. But in 2026, we don't need a backroom rental to find the macabre. We just need a data plan and a lack of self-respect. Enter Daniel Goldhaber's Reimagining, a film that spent 3 years rotting in a studio basement only to emerge as a surprisingly sharp, digital-age slasher that asks a terrifying question. In a world where we're constantly flooded with high-definition tragedy, can we recognize a real scream anymore?
Some things never change.
Hey, everybody, an old man's talking.
This isn't your glossy Blumhouse jump scare factory. Faces of Death feels oily. It's got this grim, tactile, I should probably clear my browser history after this energy. Goldhaber captures that specific soul-sucking malaise of the infinite scroll. The lighting in the kill scenes doesn't feel like a movie set. It feels like a leaked Telegram video. And it's got the DNA of movies like Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, that sort of voyeuristic, should I be watching this sort of discomfort, but filtered through the blue light of a smartphone. It's a movie that doesn't just want to scare you, it wants to make you feel complicit. So we follow Margot, played by Barbie Ferreira. She spends her 9 to 5 in the digital trenches as a content moderator. Her job is to stare into the abyss of the internet and hit delete on the worst things humanity has to offer. She's already desensitized, partly because of the job and partly because of a past trauma involving a viral video of her own sister.
She'll be fine. Everything's fine.
But the monsters?
It's fine. It's fine.
Are you sure? Because she has 0 adventurer training.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. She'll be fine. It's fine.
But the algorithm starts feeding her something different. A group reenacting the infamous deaths from the original 1978 Faces of Horror film. As a line between staged for clout and actual homicide begins to blur, Margot falls down a rabbit hole of misinformation and analog-inspired terror. And at the bottom of that hole is Arthur, played by the genuinely unsettling Dacre Montgomery, who isn't just looking for likes, he's looking for a legacy. Margot isn't just trying to solve a crime, she's trying to figure out if what she's seeing is even happening, or if the internet has finally succeeded in breaking her brain. I didn't know this until doing a little bit of research, but apparently this movie was in a 3-year limbo. The shoot date was back in 2023, and apparently it wasn't a post-production deal, it was a final cut war between Goldhaber, the indie darling, and Legendary, the studio giant. Now, I don't know if this is a marketing stunt, but Faces of Death was pulled last minute from the South by Southwest Film Festival. Goldhaber hinted that it was corporate censorship, but who really knows? Was that a real thing? Because typically, I mean, this is a rare occasion where a movie is yanked 3 days before the premiere. So take that for what you will. But personally, I did not find this movie to be too gratuitous. It's actually surprisingly tame, especially in the latter half for what I'm used to, especially with a movie called Faces of Death. Apparently, the trailer got banned on YouTube, so I don't know if it's another marketing ploy or, but that really helps though, because I see trailers for this. I had no idea what the plot was. I just saw these very vivid images of something I probably shouldn't be watching, but it worked on me. I was curious. That's how marketing should be. Seeing the 17 plus age wall on YouTube, I don't know. YouTube's kind of picky sometimes. Apparently there's an Easter egg where Goldhaber snuck a banned clip onto a background phone screen as basically a middle finger to the MPAA. I kind of like that. It kind of feels a little punk rock, a little indie rebellion in this movie. I appreciate that. So Barbie Ferreira as the main character and final girl of this movie is definitely an interesting choice. She's not what you would think as your typical lead or final girl. which I think really helps this movie. She gives it her all, too. She's grounded. She feels real, and that's what you need in a movie that's called Faces of Death. And she carries the weight of this movie, both in emotional context and literal. It feels authentic to someone who watches gore for a living. A bit of cruelty to her character's backstory, that this person who's a content moderator who is famous for her sister's viral death video. I'm like, I don't even know why she would take the job or why her friend would give her that job. It's kind of fucked up if you ask me. And it might seem a bit on the nose, but I think it sets the stage for her numbness that I think is relatable to a lot of us. It's almost like having this phone in our face, seeing all these videos has kind of made us numb to just even humanity in general. And I love the angle that this movie was going in with that. And a smart bit of social commentary too. I was a bit worried that this movie was just a slasher movie that was basically taking the Faces of Death name and slapping it on it. It's happened several times, but that's not this. This has a vision for it. This had an idea for it, and it totally works. Dacre Montgomery's Arthur is the main slasher, the main villain. I really like this guy in Stranger Things. He was the Rob Lowe lookalike sociopath, and he looked like a total asshole, but I loved his performance in that, and I really missed when he left the show. But I've been waiting to see this actor in something. I know he's in a Power Rangers movie or something, but I feel this is a good continuation from his Billy character in Stranger Things. He really sells the sociopathy of any character, it seems. And I love the look when he puts on the mask, the white mask with the red eyes. Sometimes he takes off the mask, he's just got the red eyes. And apparently Montgomery's real life OCD was influencing the tactile nature of the character. He's always like touching his skin suit. Sort of like he's not just a masked killer, he's a man obsessed with the texture of death, the texture of a lot of things. And it goes into the core of the movie, like, is this stuff real or is it fake? And he gives that tactile feel of like an actual snuff film when he's recording it. And I love the meta nature of this, like, Faces of Death exists in this world. It's infamous, like in our world. It feels like this takes place in our world. And it's kind of funny because Margot doesn't even know what Faces of Death is. And really, nothing makes you feel older than a horror protagonist asking what a VHS tape is. And it kind of makes me wonder, like, does anyone know what Faces of Death is below, like, the millennials? I'm kind of curious. Let me know down in the comments below if you're younger and didn't know what Faces of Death, the original, was. But bringing it back to the like tactile nature of Arthur's character, and it shows in his recordings, as you can probably see in some of the trailer shots where someone is kind of lit up and it's dark all around them. It really does feel like homemade quality footage that makes you feel like you're watching something a little bit forbidden. Now, you're probably wondering how much gore is in this. I think the gore, when she initially watches the videos, that's the goriest it gets. Actually, a lot of the gore is just front-loaded at the beginning of the movie, or the first half of it. Not so much the later. I mean, it's. I'm not saying it's not gory, but it's not like extreme. But I think giving that dirty grime feel, lighting is the real star in the latter half. If I had to compare it to other movies of how it feels, it does give shades of Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, and it definitely becomes more of a slasher in that last part of it. So like the smarter social commentary takes a little bit of a backseat in the second half for like more traditional slasher tropes. And of course, very dumb character moments throughout. But it still does feel rather elevated compared to like throwaway slashers you would see. So who is this for? I mean, if you're looking for a fun Friday night popcorn flick with a bunch of jump scares and a happy ending, then you probably want to not look this way. This one is for the people who actually enjoy feeling a little greasy after the credits roll. It's for people who miss when horror felt dangerous and a little bit off limits. If you enjoyed movies like Censor or Late Night with the Devil, you're the target demographic for this digital descent into madness. Despite the production hell and the 3-year wait, Daniel Goldhaber managed to turn a legacy title into a relevant piece of social commentary. It's a movie that understands that in 2026, the real horror isn't a guy in a mask. It's the fact that we've seen so much real-world violence on our feeds that we've lost the ability to tell the difference between a movie set and a crime scene. It stumbles a bit in the final stretch, trading some of its Seven-esque grit for standard slasher beats, but Barbie Ferreira and Dacre Montgomery give performances that elevate this way beyond its exploitation roots. The movie is smarter than it has any right to be, honestly. And even when it's clumsy, it's interesting. For doing something genuinely new with a 50-year-old name and making me feel like I need to throw my phone in a river. I'm giving Faces of Death 2026 a 3.5 out of 5. But what did you think of Faces of Death? Did you see the original? Did you even know what Faces of Death is? Let me know down in the comments below. Check out my ending explained by my head. And YouTube thinks you'll like this other video by my head. And I'll see you next time.